Welcome to In-Depth Outdoors, bringing you ice fishing's hottest bites with James Holt, Scott Stile, and the IDO fishing team. Walleye, crappie, pike, lake trout, and more. We'll take you to North America's top destination in search of your favorite species. More fish, bigger fish, In-Depth Outdoors. Brought to you by Lake Master, leading in accuracy, following with success. Markham High Power Ice Sonar. Take the Markham High Power Challenge at markhampower.com. Snowsuit Performance Winterwear, engineered with you in mind. Otter Outdoors. Get out onto the ice and into the outdoors. Custom Jigs and Spins, the hottest baits below the ice.
On today's episode of In-Depth Outdoors, I'm headed to Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin to get out on the ice for some midwinter backwater crappies with real good buddy Dave Kuntz. And I'm sure as you look around you can tell that things have changed dramatically from our last episode. 2 weeks ago, 35, 40 degree daytime temps. Today, highs in the single digits. 2 weeks ago, no snow to speak of. In the last 2 weeks, it's pretty much snowed every other day. And what that's done is it's greatly complicated getting around out on the ice. Slush has been a major issue. Foot traffic, of course, is all that much more difficult. So to compensate, we've got the Otter Wild one-man loaded light. Any non-essentials, they stayed home. We're gonna go out here and try our hand at shallow water crappies on the backwaters of the Mississippi River. How you doing, buddy?
All right.
You said you were off the road a little bit. You weren't kidding. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
So what's the scoop? Fish biting?
No, they're biting.
A little bit?
A little bit.
Should have been here yesterday?
Should have been here yesterday.
Oh, great. We'll still catch fish.
Yeah, we're catching some nice fish. Their fish are still here. It's a little more finicky today than they were yesterday.
Well, I'm ready to fish if you are.
All right.
What's the program?
Long rods,
Light
Markhams,
line, little Cecil's.
getting jiggy with it.
Getting jiggy with it. All right, buddy. One of the tools we're using today are these real long ice rods, and they're real unique to this situation. We're in shallow water, so it isn't necessary to have a reel to bring up a line when we catch a fish. Deep water here is 6, 7, 8 feet, so we don't need to have that hand crank reel. All we have to do is just raise our arms. And the rods we're using, these are 54-inch long rods where the line actually runs down through the hollow blank and right out the tip. You can see there that we've got a spring bobber mounted on the end. Very sensitive. And what makes this rod so perfect for this presentation is that you're in shallow water, and a fish can easily be lifted to the surface and out of the hole, and it keeps a guy from having to kneel or lean over the hole with a short rod. With this 54-inch rod, what I'm able to do is present the bait. I've got a real nice fish on the Markham there right now. Hopefully I can catch him. But I can present the bait, drop the spoon or whatever bait I'm fishing right down to the surface of the ice, jig up, no bending, no back strain. And if I catch fish, if I hook a fish, all I have to do is just raise that rod tip and bring the fish to the surface. You know, that's all the line we've got out to get on these fish. It's real effective when you're hole hopping as well, because you don't have any line to crank up. As you move from one hole to the next, you already have the depth set for your next hole. There's not a huge fluctuation in depth from one hole to the next in this area. So if you're presenting a bait 6 inches off the bottom, all you do is just lift your rod up, go to the next hole, drop it back down, and you're already set. So you won't see this type of rod used in an ice house. It's definitely an outside kind of rod. But in shallow water, this 54-inch, I believe they're called the pulsator rod, is just an incredible tool that is just perfect for this application. Here comes one. Walk back here. There we go. Boy, I tell you what, for lethargic crappies, you know, they're reluctant to hit, but when they do, they really get those baits in there deep. And I think that a lot of that has to do with how light these little spoons are. They don't weigh a darn thing. And when these fish come up and inhale on them, they get the whole thing. But now these fish, not a big crappie. But under conditions like this, any fish you get on the ice, sounds like a moral victory.
Log on to idofishing.com, that's idofishing.com, and you'll be on your way to catching more and bigger fish. And you'll find fishing reports from all your favorite bodies of water, with monster fish photos, a friendly, helpful forum, and streaming video of every in-depth outdoors episode available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Introducing the Markham LX5 high-power sonar. With 5 times more power than the competition, you'll see baits that are 60% smaller. Offering better target separation, you'll see multiple fish, not just one big blob. And better interference rejection. Markham virtually eliminates interference caused by other flashers. More power means you'll catch more fish. See the difference power makes at markhamtech.com.
Come on. Well, he hammered that one. Not a big one, but
There we go. There, buddy. All right, walk back. Decent crappie. Switch baits again. I'm having to adjust quite a bit to keep up with these fish. Not a monster, but earlier we started the day with the plastics and then went to live bait. Caught some fish, and here real recently we've been able to see these real small minnows. We're not sure what kind they are. I've been trying to catch them as they come under the hole, but they're about that big, silver in color, and they're just right beneath the ice. And I'm sure that's what these crappies are feeding on. And what we did is we switched to just a micro flutter spoon. Let that fish go. There, buddy. Here's what we're using. It's called a little Cecil. We went with a silver gold color, so it's real natural. And those minnows that are about 1.5 inches long, real bright, silver shiny, this is doing a pretty good job of imitating that real small minnow. Earlier in the morning, we were able to get by with plain plastics, and now by switching up to that little flutter spoon, real micro, super light, it's got a real slow fall to it, we're able to stay on some of these fish in some pretty tough conditions. Oh, Dave's going. Hey, what you got there, Coons?
that'd be crappie.
You know, I feel bad about giving you a hard time about the purist.
You know how you're saying you're cleaning your ice off your line? It's halfway up.
Yeah, no kidding.
I turned my head, and of course my line was halfway out of the water, and I looked down, and here comes this blip right up on my Markham, and bonk.
Sometimes accidents and mistakes work in your favor.
I like mistakes like that.
Oh, there's fish. You got another one, Coots. Oh, there we go. All right. Another little Cecil fish there. Not bad for middle of the day, high skies. Sticking with that real bright, shiny little Cecil. What we'll try to do is we'll try to get some of those bait fish. We see them right under the holes. They look like the smallest little shiners. You can basically see right through them. They're so thin, but they're just silvery gold silver, and they're about that just perfect size. And we've gone and tried the plastics that we were fishing earlier, and anything with live baits being ignored, but that little bait, even under these tough conditions, is putting fish on the ice. Go. There he is. Just a smaller crappie. There, buddy. They are biting so light right now. Earlier this morning we were catching them on those ratzos, just a plain plastic. And they've really gotten lethargic now. And we had a storm front go through overnight. Conditions really cleared off today, so we've got some real high pressure conditions, and the bite is pretty tough. We've had some nice fish, but to fool that one, I had to add a couple spikes to a diamond jig. There we go. And down he goes.
Fish on. There's a crappie.
Did you get another one on that Pyrrhus?
Yeah. About 10 inches.
That is a crazy looking, I mean, are you tipping it with live bait?
No, no bait at all, James. Just a pink, good hook too. The pink has got a little silver head to him. It floats down, it's really light. So I throw a little split shot on and drop her down there, and she just floats. It kind of sinks down. The pink seemed to be a hot color today too.
Yep, well we got some on the plastics early.
Yep.
Some pink Cecils.
Yep. A 10-inch fish. We'll see if we can get some more of those. I'm dropping my jig down and jigging it down and stopping it, and I'll jig it down and stop it, and I'll jig it down and I'll stop it, and I'll watch my markham for that flash to come up underneath. And when she comes up, I'll just kind of tease her up, and make her want to go up and take it. And if I can drop it down right in front of her nose, she'll look at it and she won't do it. She won't take it. They've been really finicky. So if I start up just below the ice and work down, these crappies feed up. So they're looking up, I'm dropping it down in front of them. They're sitting there waiting for it. So if I don't give it to her, she'll come back up and she'll smack it. Gives you, I think, me a little bit better edge than just trying to set it on the bottom and leave it there.
Otter Pro Series fish houses have all the technology and comfort that you demand. The toughest sled on snow and ice will handle all your gear and then some. Flip over the custom-made 900 denier ballistic canvas top for instant comfort. Plastic runners make pulling or towing the sled easy, so you can cover more water and catch more fish. Aircraft quality, modified square tubular framing, and ultra-comfortable swivel seats keep you warm and dry catching fish in any weather. Pick up your Otter Pro Series house at your local dealer today or visit our website.
The typical area being fished in these backwaters for these panfish, they're very similar from one stretch of the river to the next. This time of year the water levels are very low, so there's not a lot of area in these backwater complexes that have any depth at all. Today, deep water for us is 7 feet, so that'll give you an idea of how limited the amount of deep water is. So as these backwater channels come off the main channel where all the current is, the current will gouge out deeper areas in turns or behind obstacles in these backwaters, and that's where these fish are going to hold up. The area we're fishing today is really quite small, about 75 yards long. You get downstream a little bit further and it shallows up. You go upstream before the turn and it's shallower in there as well. It's just a small trench of deeper water that's holding all these fish. There's a lot of food here. That light current coming through keeps the area oxygenated, and these fish will hold here all winter long. On your river system near you, if you can find a spot like this where the depth will concentrate the fish, you're going to be able to get on some real good fishing.
There we go.
Yay,
There's
coach.
another crappie. There, look like the brother of your last one.
One fish per hole right now.
He ain't big enough to be a movie star yet, though, is he?
No, he really isn't. He's an extra.
Yep. They're fun to catch, though. There's another fish down there, too. Let's see if I can grab him.
Come here, buddy. You know, there's a lot bigger fish in this area. Dave was out here yesterday, just as that storm front went through. He was getting a pile of 12 to 13 inch crappies. But they're coming pretty fast now. I'm having a real good time catching them. My guess is, come afternoon, as we start to lose some of the light level, we're going to catch some bigger fish. And right now, I'm having a heck of a good time fishing these fish on these really long rods in shallow water. He was hooked up good. Actually pinned both sets of lips together. All right. He's only about a 9-inch crappie. Not a big fish, but a heck of a lot of fun. Oh, buddy, that's a nicer fish. You know, they count double on a day like today.
Yeah.
You know, yesterday we had that bad storm come through, and now today we've got real high skies, super bright conditions, and the fish have just been tough.
Oops, sorry.
These little Cecils are really proven to do a pretty good job of putting the fish on the ice that we are getting. What's that, about
11 inch?
11 inch fish?
Yeah, 11 inch fish.
Not bad for 11 o'clock in the morning on a real high sky day.
Really? Kind of the gold glitters kind of beat off that jig a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, ice fishing's a lot of fun. It's a whole different sport. It's kind of fun jigging for crappies, jigging for bluegills. Perch have come back quite a bit. There's a couple spots that I've been finding some real nice perch. But they're not everywhere. Oh, like I said, like when Dad and I would fish, the perch population was pretty thick. I mean, you'd always go out and catch, a limit of perch, if you want to call limit being, you could catch a dozen or 2 dozen perch. And then they just went away, and I think a lot of it's got to do with the backwater silting in, the places for them to spawn weren't there. And I think with some of the things that the Corps of Engineers have done, and with the pool drop downs and letting the backwaters, the silt and stuff to actually settle and getting weed growth again, and there's all sorts of perch back. And I know guys that have caught 10, 12, I've heard of 13, 14 inch perch being caught out here in the river.
Now the conditions today are really pretty tough. Yesterday a real strong storm front went through some areas of Minnesota, got up to 12, 15 inches of snow. Very difficult conditions for catching crappies, particularly in shallow, clear water. And we know we're on a lot of fish. We've had the underwater cameras down in the holes nearly all day long, and it's just a non-stop parade of fish. So really what it comes down to be successful today is switching through a lot of different baits and just being real precise with our presentations. The Mississippi River is just blessed with an incredible quantity of fish. Doesn't mean they always bite, but they're definitely here.
Another one on that, on the Purist, pink Purist. It's been a pretty hot jig here lately. He's about just shy of 10 inches long. Just shy. Nice little fish though. Gone. Time for another.
This might be a bass or a monster crappie. That hole is so iced in. If this is a crappie, she is a big crappie. Thank you, sir. What, we got 2 pound test on here, Dave?
Yep, 2 pound test.
Oh, plenty. I think it's going to be a bass, buddy. It's a crappie. She is the big grandma.
Yep.
The rat sole right on that bass's nose.
But you just never know.
No.
You don't.
Northerns, bass, perch. What do we see? Saw dogfish on the camera earlier today. A little bit of everything.
Yep.
Introducing the Markham LX5 high-power sonar. With 5 times more power than the competition, you'll see baits that are 60% smaller. Offering better target separation, you'll see multiple fish, not just one big blob. And better interference rejection. Markham virtually eliminates interference caused by other flashers. More power means you'll catch more fish. See the difference power makes at markhamtech.com.
Come on, baby. It's a crappie. It's a good one. Oh, look at that, Dave. Holy smoke. I will. Well, we talked about the Mississippi River giving up fish of just about every species imaginable. That is a big jumbo perch. It's by far bigger than anything we caught today as far as the jumbo perch go. And I would dare say that is a true trophy. Oh, buddy. Man, look at those beautiful fins. handle out to there. 14 inches long. That is a 14-inch jumbo perch. As Dave mentioned earlier in the show, the perch have really made a comeback on the Mississippi River. And because she's carrying a whole load of eggs there, we're gonna let her go. I love catching yellow perch. So hopefully in years to come, there'll be a lot more just like her.
Here we go. Watch. I think this one's gonna take it.
Oh,
Just like that. Oh, he's just a little guy.
brings your average down, my friend. Those last two you had were real nice.
Yep. Well, you could tell how aggressive those are on that Markham. I mean, jigging it down, all of a sudden that blip shows up and it just comes right up to it. It's just like I almost knew it was going to hit. Oh.
There's fish.
Oh.
This is a crappie. She's a good one. Yeah, not huge. Just fighting like heck.
There we go. There we go, guys.
Good one?
Yep. Don't let this one get away. That's a good fish.
Yes. Happy to do it. They're biting so light this evening. They're just nipping at it. Dave's had a couple real nice crappies like this one get off right at the hole. You know, they're not getting that bait all the way in their mouth, so I figured this time it'd be worth it getting the hand wet for you.
Thank you, thank you.
You betcha.
That was crazy. Now look at, I mean, just at the tip of its mouth too. They're not inside or nothing. They're right on the tip. They come up, they sniff it, they go back down. They come up, they go back down.
Well, you know what, Dave?
Yeah.
Every day is a great day to
Yep.
be out on the ice. I want to thank you for having me out here today. I had a good time. I really did. Caught some nice fish, learned a fun technique. If you've never done this shallow water crappie fishing like this with these long rods, it's certainly an experience.
Yep.
I hope you invite me again soon.
Oh, absolutely. No
Can you do
doubt.
something about the weather though, maybe a little more warmer next time.
It was 2 days of beautiful, beautiful weather, and there's fish going on down here, and it was great. We had really good turnout of fish, some real nice fish. That front come through like we talked about, and it died. I mean, it was a real tough bite, but we still caught some nice fish today.
Everybody gets to be cold front once in a while.
Yep, I love coming out here. I love hole hopping. Good friends. It was good fun.
We'll do it again soon.
Yeah, I think so.
To those watching, make a point this season to grab your kids, get out with the family, out on the ice, and enjoy this incredible sport with the ones you love.